Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It's Glenda again. You know me by now. Well, some of you may not. With Fralins and Friends Crafts Plus. And today I want to talk to you about my day. And it's been great. And it's been tiring. And I was part of a teleconference with people from all over Africa and Europe, I suppose, Sierra Leone, India, lots of places. And I was a speaker. I'll tell you about that in a bit. Okay, I was first speaker. And that's a little unsettling when you're not used to that. Not on that kind of international level. This is a different kind of thing here. I mean, here I'm not having to actually face everybody, and there were a lot of faces. But I was first speaker, and mine was the mindset of a good leader. And so I made 5 points, and everybody seemed to think that those were some good points. The only problems I had were with accents. Everybody was speaking English, but I had the people from India, people from Sierra Leone, people from other nations, and everybody has their own accent. So I had to really listen close to hear a couple of them. And after about 3 hours of sitting on our hard dining room chair, I had to take my morning meds. It was just because I was first speaker. It was supposed to start at 9:30, but nobody had showed up by 9:30. So I think that's how we pronounce his name. I'm going to have to ask. I've only texted with him, and we've become pretty good friends over the past 3 months. Anyway, and he introduced me as his friend from the United States. He's got a lot of friends in the United States. So, but it was so enlightening, and I hated that I couldn't watch everybody. I would have liked to have stayed, but at my medication, which I really needed by that time, it pretty much knocked me. It pretty much zaps me because I was tired already, and I'd had a lot of nerves, but I got through it, and I was really happy with myself that I did. And I talked to later, and I told him that I don't know if he realized I'd left, but I told him that I was apologizing because I did have to leave because of my medicine, and it kind of makes me sleepy. But I really wished I could have seen the rest of them. And so he sent me a link to a recording of the keynote speaker. And I am telling you, she was awesome. She talked about just about every possible point of leading and setting up a mission and the way you do it. I'm trying to think of the word, but I can't. But anyway, the steps that you take to get there. And a backup. She talked about having a backup plan in case the first one didn't work. So there's just so much. One man talked about students or young people and how they, whatever they choose to do, that not to let anybody cut them short, not to let anybody tell them that they can't do it. So another one talked about if you want to change other people or want them to change, then you need to be the change, or I'm thinking that means to be an example of the change that you want to see in others. I don't know if I mentioned that I was the only white person in the room, but after we got started, it really didn't bother me. I had done my part and I was listening instead. So, and I was just so glad that I got to listen to the keynote speaker, that he sent me that link so that I could, and she was good. She had the longest, but she was keynote. So, and she's like she must be a college professor. She's so very educated. But that's kind of how my morning went. And it was my first experience of doing an international teleconference like that. So I was really, really happy for the experience. I was scared, but I was happy I got my part done and was over. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm not getting the boy made for Halloween, but I will get a boy made, and he will just have to appreciate the holidays with the little girl. That's the way it's going to be. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Smile and wave. There's yours. Good night.